All right, there's Bill Clinton confronted by a former Marine drill sergeant about Hillary Clinton and Benghazi. And as the Marine is being escorted out, and Clinton says, by the way, if you'll shut up, I'll answer. Then another woman from the audience says, yeah, well, she lied over the coffins of 4 Americans. It's all true. Even the New York Times has a piece out about this where Hillary owns not only this, but the Libya war that has left a country, a failed state, and a terrorist safe haven. That is her legacy here. But I mean, the treatment, really, of a former drill sergeant? You've got to be kidding me. It's unbelievable. Among the many things now happening out on the campaign trail. Joining us now, Kevin Jackson, Executive Director of the Black Sphere, author of The Big Black Lie. Brian Claypool is a civil rights attorney. And, with all the talk about the Republicans and what's going on with Donald Trump, the DNC, a top DNC official, has resigned rather than supporting Hillary Clinton. Even Louis Farrakhan referred to her as Satan, don't trust her. And there is a huge divide with Bernie Sanders supporters and Hillary Clinton, as they feel that in many ways they have been cheated with the superdelegates all being manufactured for Hillary Clinton. Anyway, welcome both of you back to the program here. Pretty disgraceful, wouldn't you say, Kevin Jackson?
Yeah, I think that Bernie Sanders has really done a lot to uncover sort of the real racial tension, if you will, between what I would call the moderate blacks and those that, quite frankly, are winnable to the right to some in large degree, and this very viciously left group. And in their defense, I don't agree with their politics in any way, shape, or form. But the way that Bernie Sanders is being treated, he is a second-class citizen without question. With the DNC, this thing, nobody expected him to be hanging around, and here's Bernie hanging around like a hair on a biscuit.
Yeah, and what's your response to that, Brian? Is that how we treat our veterans? If it's bad enough with the VA, we promise veterans health care, and we have a systematic bureaucratic failure where bureaucrats are getting big bonuses by creating institutionalized lies about when veterans are seeking care. And some veterans are dying, waiting for that care, and yet nothing has ever been done to fix that. Now we're going to tell veterans to shut up when they ask questions at an event like this?
Well, Sean, if I was advising Hillary Clinton, I would tell her that she is her own worst enemy. I mean, the reality is she's probably going to beat Bernie Sanders, and she's going to face Donald Trump. Now, what does she need to do to beat Donald Trump? She's got to be more transparent. People don't trust her. The whole country already has.
Come on, Brian. She's not going to be transparent. She's never been transparent.
No, but I'm just telling you. Let me answer the question, though. I mean, in order for her to pull this off, I don't think she can beat Donald Trump unless she starts treating people more kindly, like you said. Like, let me try to answer that question for you instead of shut up. I agree with that. I'm trying to give you my thought on how she can possibly turn this around. You can't just go pander, try to get the black vote, and then not address the gorilla in the room, which is I'm not an honest person. You know what we talked a while back about these subpoenas for her nonprofit foundation. Why didn't she just say, okay, there's a subpoena. Let me get the responsive documents and let's put this to bed. Instead, she challenges everything, and she's got to change her tune in terms of integrity.
Well look, it's beyond just the integrity issue. I mean, Hillary wants to come off to the black community as if she's down with the cause. She talks about the war on women. Hillary's war on women has affected black women the most negatively. You're talking about a woman who calls herself a feminist, who has a daughter who makes $1 gazillion, all because they're both riding the coattails of the dad, which is not a problem in the conservative world. Family sticks together. We believe in family and we believe in helping each other. But Hillary talks about it, the war on women, as if every woman is a product of this. She's not a product of the war on women. There's no fallout for her, but the black women who are birthing 72% of America's black children out of wedlock, whose sons and daughters are filling the prisons, who are getting abortions at rates that are 300% our per capita, our population levels, who are suffering the poverty and the anguish of watching their kids get killed while they watch Hillary's daughter make $26,000 an hour working at NBC and the Clinton Foundation making millions of dollars. The whole life of the Clintons is a lie.
All right, let me play, because I think this playing of the race card, sure, Hillary won South Carolina over the weekend like it was any big surprise anyway, but it showed a level of desperation. This goes to the playbook of the Democratic Party every single solitary election, and that is to lie to the American people, especially minorities, especially Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, especially those that are most vulnerable in society, old people, people in wheelchairs. And Hillary has now contrived this false narrative that Republicans are trying to stop all of these people from voting. It is a big, huge manufactured lie. It happens every election season, and I'm sick of it. Let me play it.
In Texas and in state after state, they're doing everything they can to stop black people, Latinos, poor people, young people, people with disabilities from voting. It's a blast from the Jim Crow past. I thought we had won that battle back in the 1960s. To see it rear its ugly head is such a great disappointment. It's one of the barriers that I intend to knock down.
A blast from the Jim Crow past. I go right back to my southern accent, and I'm trying to say it. And we thought that was won in the 60s there. Brian Claypool, I thought that was all won, and apparently not. It's one of my main jobs if I'm elected president. Really? Seriously? The phony accent, the phony cadence, the phony tone. What is it? It's so insulting what this woman does. Can you name one person? Name one person who's trying to prevent blacks and Hispanics and women and children and young people from voting. Can you name one?
Hey, Sean, let me tell you this, though. Whether you like this Hillary Clinton or not in the way she's handling the black vote, the fact of the matter is the Republican candidate who's nominated.
Right. I don't want to talk about the Republican candidate. I want to talk, is what she said true, or is she lying to the black community, the Hispanic community, to women, to young people, to people in wheelchairs? Is she lying to people? And the answer is yes, right, Brian?
No, I don't think she's lying. I think what she's doing is she is articulating more to the black.
She's playing the race card, Brian. It's called playing the race card.
But, Sean, she has to play the race card just as Republican candidates do.
She has to play the race card. Tell me which Republican in this election is playing the race card. Let me know who that person is.
Sean, here's my point I was trying to make.
You said Republicans are doing it. Who's doing it on the Republican side? Answer that question. Who?
Nobody, and that's going to be a problem in the general election.
Oh, so Republicans need to play the race card so that they can get the black vote. Is that what he's saying? Help me out here, Kevin Jackson.
Brian, listen, it's insulting. What Sean is saying is it's insulting. And then the problem, Sean, is not so much that Hillary's going to play the card. We know what they're going to do. The problem is we see this happen election after election, and we never do anything about it. The idea of this is insulting to blacks. If I were Trump or Cruz or anybody else, I would say, hey, the one thing we're not going to do is insult your intelligence by saying you can't get a voter ID. Black people have been a part of American culture. You can do everything the other cultures can do. And what Democrats are trying to do is make you appear to be stupid. Now, you can fall for that if you want, or you can just, get along and get into the rest of America. It's totally insulting. And it's been a Democrat practice for decades. And you would think that the Republicans would say, okay, we peaked at this inside the playbook. Now we're going to stop it.
Yeah, but Kevin, let me ask you a question. Tell me what the Republicans are doing to try to fix this racial divide we have across the country.
Can I answer this one? Can I jump in and give you an answer? All right. So here's the question you've got to ask yourself.
Sean,
go
ahead.
All right. So are black Americans better off now in the 8th year of the Obama economy, or are there more black Americans, more Hispanic Americans in poverty, on food stamps, and out of the labor force? Do you know the answer to that?
Sean,
No.
Sean,
Come on.
Sean,
wait a minute. No. Because you're talking about words. I am talking about policies.
I'm talking about trust, Sean. I'm talking about trust. Blacks don't trust white. Look at all the people being killed by police officers.
Okay, so now, Brian, you're getting on my nerves because that's all been that's a fallacy.
Kevin, let me ask you a question, Kevin. 15 years ago, let me ask you this. 15 years ago, there was a federal legislation passed by Republicans that mandated that U.S. attorney was supposed to start taking statistics on racial profiling across the country. Well, guess what? The ball was dropped back then by Republicans, and it was equally dropped by Democrats.
Brian, first of all, look, everybody talks about that's just one of these Pavlovian bells where you ring it. I'm supposed to go, racial profiling. Look, everybody profiles. I profile black kids walking in my neighborhood if they're dressed in the uniform of the thug. You'd be crazy not to. So this idea that's just nonsense. At the end of the day, when we look at all of these policies, cities that have led to the destruction of the black community, it all points back to Democrats. And I'm not trying to be a one-trick pony on this. It's just a fact. Look at any of these cities where all of the things that are occurring that you're talking about that Hillary wants to fix, every single one of them, when you go back and look at connecting the dots, leads back to the Democrat Party and liberal policies. That's what Sean's saying. That's what any conservative worth their weight is saying. And that's what we should be battling against. What is Hillary talking about doing? What is she going to do? She's going to protect black women? She's not. She's going to protect black kids? She's not. Black kids are more likely to get killed than her kids. Black kids attend the worst schools. Black kids fill the prisons. This is ridiculous. It all points back to the nonsense. And what Sean is saying is these people come out every year, they promise everything, deliver nothing, and blacks vote for it. Now, I don't blame Hillary, and I don't blame the Democrats.
Well, who are the blacks supposed to vote for? Let me ask you this. Who are they supposed to vote for?
All right, I'm going to answer the question, and then we got to end this half hour. It's very simple. Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, women are all worse off under liberal Democratic policies, okay? That means under Barack Obama, millions more in poverty, millions more in food stamps, millions more out of the labor force, median income is down, the debt is up for their children and grandchildren, and our foreign policy is a mess. Nobody has benefited. And that, to go out there and work people's minds up into a frenzy and openly play the race card like this is despicable. It should stop. Even, it just is the lowest form of politics, and people need to be wise to what is going on. There are no people you can name that are trying to stop people from voting. If you find out who these mysterious people are, come back on and tell me, because I want to know. It's outrageous.